Okay, on the spot. We're on location, broadcasting live from the offices of Bioware in Edmonton, Alberta. Once the home of Wayne Gretzky and poutine French fries. That's right, we made it all the way to Oiler Country to talk to the creators of Jade Empire. But that's not all. The team made a quick stop in Seattle along the way to check out SOCOM 3 U.S. Navy SEALs, the latest team-based shooter from Zipper Interactive. Then, Ryan McDonald will be joined on the set by the Good Doctors and Bioware CEOs Ray Muzica and Greg Zeschuk, who provide a live demo of their upcoming kung fu-laden role-playing game, Jade Empire. Also, tune in for a chance to win your very own copy of the game, which is due to hit store shelves on April 14th. That and more today on the spot. All
right, we're all the way live from Canada up here at Bioware. Well, we got a whole slew of stuff to show you, like Jade Empire live demo, taking some questions about Dragon Age and the rest of it, plus some giveaways later on. First, we're going to take a look at SOCOM 3, which was announced for the first time yesterday at a Sony press event. So we're going to check that out. Roll the footage.
Some of the big features that we're very excited about are, number one, the missions in SOCOM 3 are much larger. We have some new streaming technology that allows the missions to be like 6 times larger than SOCOM 2. Typically in SOCOM 2 you may come up against 40 to 50 enemies, but in this basically a mission can take hours, and so you can basically have unlimited number of enemies. So the experience is just much longer, much deeper, much more immersive. You're never taken out of the mission and pulled back to a UI. It's all just, you just stay in the game. Another big thing is swimming. We've added swimming this time. That's something we've debated a lot in the past, whether we want to add swimming, but it just seems that the Navy SEALs should have swimming in their game. This is a really neat thing because it adds to the stealth factor. The SEALs like to sneak around and use covered concealment. Now they have a new area where they can actually sneak underwater. They can submerge, and the enemies won't see them in that case. So it's just kind of a neat new aspect. Another really cool thing is the vehicles. Something we've been wanting to add for a long time. The game's going to have over 20 vehicles in the game, most of which you can actually drive, both land and sea vehicles. The vehicles will have lots of weapon power. The vehicles will actually have a main gun, a turret, a grenade launcher, so just about everybody that hops into the vehicle will actually be able to be using firepower. One of the reasons we had to make very large missions is because now that you have vehicles, you need a lot of open space to roam. So that's part of why we developed the new streaming technology.
So we like to choose locales that are plausible as hotspots, as well as showing off some really interesting areas. And we've chosen for SOCOM 3 Bangladesh, Morocco, and Poland. And I think people are really going to be surprised by the authenticity that we've brought to each of these areas. We actually sent crews over to take pictures for references and also record sounds from these locations. And we've done a lot of use lots of actual photo shots in the game. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting places to be that haven't been done before. They keep asking questions of the new SEAL teams coming on to what brought them to the teams. And in the last round, they said 60% of the SEALs that are now joining came. The primary factor was because of SOCOM. They said they had not played the title, they wouldn't have been there. And 100% of the team members had played the game. And so that was very rewarding. We got a lot of requests after SOCOM 1 of how the teams could play SOCOM when they're out on floats, when they're out on the carriers, or they're on subs, or they're over on station like in Iraq. And so SOCOM 2, we had the land capability, and the teams are very active with playing SOCOM in the field, both online and single player. So that's been very gratifying to have their vote of confidence in the fact they find it so much fun. It's a fall release, and we'll be showing more of the game at E3. I think at that point we'll be showing multiplayer, and as well as have some more to show on single player as well.
If you want to see more of that, you can check the site. Either right now or shortly after the show, there will be a full developer interview with both the team members, and also the president that you saw there of Super Interactive. So there was, some cool stuff there. What do you guys think?
That looks awesome.
Yeah,
it's
pretty
really good.
Yeah.
Really nice. Computer fan, so that looks really cool.
Good stuff.
Yeah, they a
Nice work.
lot of surprises in there. Like the levels are 6 times bigger than they were in SOCOM 2. They added swimming in there now, so I don't know if you guys ever played it before. You pretty much, they had some streams and lakes in there, but some little rivers that you could walk through. But now you can totally just jump in and swim and do all kinds of fun. And the neat thing is you can use it as stealth now, so you kind of get underneath the water and go underwater, and the guys can't see you. So it's good stuff. But enough about other people's games. Since we're guests in your house, let's take a look at what you guys got today. A little Jade Empire, right?
Sure. Yeah.
For the folks at home that don't know. You guys have been working on this for quite some time now, and it's going to be
about 3 years now. So
Yeah.
And this is going to be. I mean, in your estimate, I think I've seen it and heard it from you guys before. One of the most polished and coolest games that Bioware has ever done. Correct?
Yeah, it's always our goal is to try and make each game better than the last. So Jade Empire's shaping up it's just amazing. The team's doing an amazing job. They've just poured their hearts and souls into this game, trying to make it one of the best stories we've ever done, and also one of the most exciting combat sequences in terms of the action combat. So it's turning out really well. It's really polished.
Now, for the folks that also don't know, we tried to have repeated attempts to get up here and check it out firsthand, and over that time, you wouldn't believe the amount of questions we've been getting in. So today, the folks at home, if you're a GameSpot Complete member, feel free to go ahead and send your questions to, or actually use a page right there next to the player that you're watching this on to fill in your questions and send them right here to us, and we'll ask you guys right now.
Yep.
And I do have some questions. Before we jump into these, let's see if you can answer some just by showing off the game. And I can rattle through. I mean, like a lot of the questions, of course, people are big fans of Knights of the Old Republic. They see some of the similarities that you guys have in a lot of the Bioware games with the character interaction. You want to explain a little bit about how Jade Empire works and what's different about it?
One of the neat things about Jade, just continuing on it's a fusion of the action plus the RPG. So we're really confident this is going to appeal to both action fans and role-playing fans. It's got some amazing combat sequences in the action combat. You get to become a martial arts master. There's martial arts styles, weapon styles, transformation styles, magic styles, support styles, and it's all in real time. So it's very fluid. You really feel like you are becoming a martial arts master.
And
the story as well. It's just a great storyline. Like it's some fantastic characters, and the story you get to role play is either way in the method of the closed fist, which is kind of similar to evil, or the way of the open palm, which is kind of similar to good in our past games. So really meaningful choices. So it's going to appeal to action RPG fans.
Now, if we can go ahead and take a look at the game real quick, if you guys don't mind narrating as we go through this, can you give me a little bit of the backstory? What's going on here? Who are we looking at?
Well, you're starting off as a student in your martial arts school, and this is near the town of Two Rivers. And basically, it's the beginning of the game, so you get a lot of tutorials and a lot of different background on how to play, and there's a lot of things to do even in this area. It's quite large, and as you see, it's just gorgeous in terms of the graphics. The artists and the animators and the graphics programmers have just done an amazing job of creating a really beautiful and lush world, and brand new graphics engine optimized for the Xbox, and then merged into that all the fundamentals you've come to know and love from Bioware games, like the story and the characters, and just making a great experience.
Now, as you're driving here, one of the questions I did see a lot of coming in is, obviously, it looks like you got full control of the camera there. So a lot of people were asking about that. Any of the specifics, like in terms of KOTOR, since that was one of the most recent projects you guys had? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. Yeah.
How would you say, for fans of that particular series, how does this one fit in, and what do you guys think they're going to be surprised to see?
Well, one of the big changes is just the real-time nature of the combat. It makes it very fluid, and it looks like it should be real-time. And if you're going to play a martial arts game, you'd expect to be able to have that level of control, and you do. And on top of that, what you see is what you get. You get a great world to explore with tons of great characters to interact with, and lots of things to explore. And it's got something for everybody, really.
And what are we seeing right here? A little fighting action going on there, a little arena battle?
Yeah, there's actually some students in the center that are doing some sparring, so you can actually go talk to them as well, and if you want to spar with them, you can do that too.
That's awesome.
And they're showing off some of their cool moves.
Right on. What's the storyline behind his wicked tattoo on his back?
Oh, that's actually a secret, so you have to kind of explore the story a bit to find out. It's a way to personalize the characters, really. There's a range of different archetype characters you get to choose when you start the game. Some male, some female. Some are faster, some are more stronger, and more brute force characters. And it's kind of a range of choices, really. If you want to play a more magical character, you can do that. Up ahead, you have one of your followers, Dawnstar, who's in a conversation.
What's the matter, Dawnstar? Are you scared that Master Lee might find out?
There is talk of approaching bandits, and you bother me with unsubtle advances. How very like you, Gao. No doubt a tactic learned from your criminal father.
His name is Gao the Greater, and he built a fortune out of some ragged thieves and slave traders. If my charm can't lift your spirit, I'll buy the ground from under you.
Flaunting your father's undeserved wealth does not impress me, Gao. It only serves to push me further away.
So notice a few things in the dialogue. The character's facial animation is much more detailed than ever before. In addition to that, they're actually expressing emotions at various times. When you make certain choices, that they'll look, angry or sad, or you can even change the character's facial expression as they're making their choices. They could look angry when you pick a certain example. So quite a bit we're trying to add to the character of the story. And we usually like to. That's one part of our games that are a big thing: what the characters do and how they interact.
Another big part of the games you guys create is the branching storyline. How does that fit in, and how does that work in Jade Empire?
Well, there's tons of subquests in Jade Empire, just like in past Bioware games. So you get to choose what you want to do next. You can also backtrack in the story if you want to finish some things that you started earlier and then complete them later. And there's also a ton of replayability in the game in terms of which followers you bring with you on your travels, how you play, whether it's a closed fist or open palm. You're going to have very different outcomes, actually different endings in the game available too, based on that. And also the combats are going to be different depending on which martial arts or fighting styles or weapon styles, transformation, magic styles you learn. So you're going to have a great experience no matter how you play. And you get to become the martial arts master you want to become.
That's cool. That's totally cool. How many different, you were talking about all the different styles and stuff like that. I remember hearing there's quite a few different styles in it, right?
Yeah, there's around 30 fighting styles in total, and there's about 5 different types. There's martial styles. You get to use your fists more and your feet. Weapon styles, a whole range of different types of weapons. You can upgrade them. Magic styles as well. Use chi, magic energy, that kind of allow you to cast fireballs or launch ice shards or transform enemies into stone pillars. Transformation styles, where you can capture the spirits from enemies you fought and actually transform into them. And then there's support styles, which you can use in interesting ways to create harmonic combos and have massive damage attacks or slow your enemies down, do things like that. So a whole range of different fighting styles in the game.
That's awesome. Now we got a few questions here, if you don't mind me starting off. I'm going to go ahead. A lot of the typical questions you get, right? How big, how long? I'll start with one that comes in from our good friend Light in London. He wants to know. Also, Christopher San Antonio wanted to know how many hours you guys planning are expecting this to be average for people, the typical player to play through, including side quests.
We're thinking Jade's about a 30 to 40 hour game. It's quite meaty. There's a lot to it. Someone could probably rush through faster, but you'd lose a lot of the detail of the game. But even then, it's still a lot to do. There's a lot of cool twists and turns in the story. A lot of great characters to meet. It is a big game. It's really exciting at how rich the world is and how detailed it is as well.
Yeah,
a ton of replayability too.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's because all the different styles and all the different things you can
followers,
the open palm or closed fist, or which followers you bring with you, which subquests you activate.
Oh no,
that's a big difference.
Joel from Louisiana had a good question. He wanted to know: is this going to be? I know we're talking some pretty heavy stuff in terms of all the different how deep it goes. One of his questions is: how easy is it for someone who has never really played an action game before to learn and get into Jade Empire?
Well, one of the things we're really trying to balance is that blend between the balance point between the action and the RPG side. So we're putting in a lot of features that are going to make it easy for one side or the other to actually get into the different aspects of the gameplay. For example, in terms of the combat, it's all real time, but you can pause it anytime you want, change the style you're in, change the enemies you're targeting, and really take time to think about your tactical or your strategic options. And the same's true, in leveling up. You can actually choose to do the quick level up, which is going to suit more action fans probably. Just kind of assign the points automatically to your ability scores, your styles. Or you can take the time to really get down and do the detail, do a lot of depth in terms of the way you assign the points, leveling up styles, assigning points to your body, mind, and spirit. So it's really up to you how you want to play. We're trying to make the game very accessible both for the action fans and the RPG fans.
Well, let me show you another little action sequence here. I didn't want to get this going too fast. This is, some people are accosting the guy in your town here.
Not a lot of guards, are there? How are your stocks of food?
I don't know you. Why are you asking me all these questions?
This town isn't well guarded. Forget it. Let's just start looting. We'll get first crack at the good stuff.
You're right. This isn't worth it.
Oh,
that's nasty.
Yes, he's going to take care of it.
They're bandits after all. So great showing off the ability to roll back and forth in real time. We call that evasion, and allows you to duck out of the way of your enemy's attacks, because it's all real-time combat. It's basically a collision-based system, so if you don't get hit, you don't take damage.
Oh, wow. So I mean, it's basically just a true like fighting game style.
It's, we built a fighting engine for this game, and it's really fluid. It's beautiful. It's fast-paced. We got all moves are motion captured from martial arts masters, some way far away as mainland China, and a lot of them are national champions of their particular martial arts. So some really fluid, beautiful moves.
Now, how is he actually controlling his character and diving back and forth?
Basically, it's really easy to do the evasion. You just hold down the B button and then move the left joystick back and forth, and you do flips or forward rolls or evasions back and forth. And it's really, really easy to do. B is also block. So block is one of the key moves in the game if you want to block a short-range basic attack. But the power attack, or the X button, actually powers right through that. So it's kind of a triangle of gameplay that you learn with each style that's consistent. And that's another aspect of why the game's pretty easy to play and to get into, is that all the styles use the same basic configuration, same basic control scheme.
Gotcha. Now, the one thing, it looks like he's in a dojo right now.
He's collecting his weapon here. I'm talking to the weapon master, and he's got your master who's trained you has reserved 2 legendary weapons for you, and so you have to pick which one you want. You get more weapons throughout the game, but at this point you can pick either a sword or a staff. So we're kind of going into this discussion now. So like KOTOR, there's a lot of detail. The world's very rich. There's a lot of history to things. There's a lot of explanation as to why things happen. So I'm zipping through here and picking up my sword, and there's some more bandits in the village. So I have to take care of them.
Take care of some business.
Yeah.
Now just so people get an idea, what point in the game are we actually looking at? Is this right off the bat?
This is right near the beginning of the game. Yeah, right near the start. So you're a pretty low-level character at this point, just kind of gaining some new styles, getting new abilities, and learning the way of the world. There's a lot of great tutorial elements as well. So anytime we introduce a new gameplay aspect, we teach you how to use it. We teach you how to use the basic controls and show you how to populate the different fighting styles on your D-pad. D-pad's how you actually move back and forth between different styles in real time.
Oh, wow.
And you can change those any time you want, either in or out of combat.
So and is it just like flipping between 1 and 2, or is it?
Well, it's actually 4 of them at any given time. But you can have from the up to 30 fighting styles or so in the game. You can learn some or all of them if you want. And if you want to have different ones in a particular battle, you can change them on the fly.
Right on. Now, from the 30, or could you select a group of 4, and then you?
Yeah, you basically select a group of 4 at any time.
I gotcha.
And if you find a particular strategy isn't working for you, you can just change it. It's really easy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you don't have to go to the menus. You can do it right during combat. It's real handy. Yeah. So I'm just about to get going here. So there's a few bandits. We'll have a couple fights, and we'll go down to the beach where there's a real big fight and some real cool cutscenes. The one thing we've done in Jade is done a lot of work on just the visuals, and as well as the cutscenes and the amount of story information in the game. It really adds a lot. It's quite impressive. The team here has done an awesome job. The animators and the designers have done a really good job.
And one of the things that I did get a chance to see was like some of the fights I saw. As you progress through the games, obviously the opponents get more difficult, right? So eventually, when I imagine you guys have bosses in this game, correct?
Oh yeah.
You get to pretty wicked boss fights where tons of moves, basically back and forth, blocking, and true martial arts style.
Yeah, it depends on which approach you want to take. There's you can use magic styles, you can use transformation styles, weapon styles, martial arts styles. And it's really fun because as people play through the game, we're getting great playtest data that shows that one particular approach may not work against a particular boss, but you try another approach, it's suddenly a lot easier. It's showing there's a lot of strategy in the game. You have to think about your options and which styles you apply in a particular combat actually make a meaningful difference. So if you learn the dozens of fighting styles in the game, you're actually going to get a benefit. You can also really just focus on several of them, and if you want to level those up, you can do that too and put all your points into those. So again, it's about becoming the martial arts master you want to become.
Now the crazy glow that he's got going on there, is that part of his martial arts ability, or is that some kind of mystic something else?
I've got a style called Heavenly Wave here. I'm going to slow them down. Not only do you have the regular hand-to-hand attacks, but you've also got special attacks. And let me give you another example here.
This is a support style, and you can actually use it for a variety of things. And you can slow down enemies. You can also charge up harmonic combo. I don't know if we'll show that here. Maybe
we'll give it a shot.
Later on. There you go. So it's primed. Greg just turned on focus mode as well, giving himself a bit more time to slow down his opponents. He just did a massive attack. So that's an example right there of a harmonic combo where you prime it with a support style, Heavenly Wave, and then you change it to 1,000 Cuts, which is a martial style, which does that massive damage.
That's wicked.
I'd be careful. Dawnstar's finishing this guy out. She got him before I get. She's pretty nasty with
Followers
that sword.
are actually pretty useful in the game.
Yeah, she's kicking.
And they all have different abilities too, depending which ones you've attracted into your party. So.
That's all. How many different followers are there?
Well, there's 12 different followers, and you can have one at a time as you travel through the world in different battles. And they all have different abilities. Some of them have, you can turn them on into attack mode, you can have them more in a support mode, and when they're in support mode, they'll regenerate stats, they'll do different things for you.
Now, the one thing I definitely want to say for the folks at home that aren't here getting to see this on the TV right in front of them, the graphics, it's like unbelievable.
We have an amazing team. Like the artists and the animators and the graphics programmers have just done an amazing job creating
just little subtle things like
a beautiful world.
There's actually a wind blowing the grass you'll see, and the trees, and if I run through it, you'll see the grass will part when I go by. There's a lot of detail.
Real wind source as well, so you're parting the grass aside as you run through it.
That's awesome.
A lot of detail.
Skybox animates.
Some of the cutscenes here.
Notice the lighting shining around the edge of the characters there.
It's like that rim lighting style.
Yeah, it really situates the characters in the scene, so it's a great technique.
This is the big fight.
This fellow's pretty evil. Pretty nasty.
He's got a cannon.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's not nice. It's not nice at all.
So I take it it's up to you to put an end to that.
You got to defend the beach.
Yeah.
Got to defend the school.
So fortunately, I got a nice sword.
Now, the one thing I saw earlier...
You notice you have to evade the cannonball shots, so when you hear the sound, you got to move aside. We can't hear the audio as well, but if Greg could hear it, he could actually duck out of the way each time there's a cannon shot.
Yeah,
otherwise, he gets immolated.
I wish I had turned it up a little bit more so you could hear.
Oh, that's probably all right.
The one thing I saw earlier when I was looking around, it looked like one of the gentlemen that I think worked on some of the storyline stuff. A lot of this is actually based on reality, right?
Yeah. Well, what we've done is we've drawn inspiration really from the myths and legends of ancient China. So it's not literally ancient China at all, but it's more inspired by them. And the team has done a lot of research. They've looked at a lot of martial arts movies, wuxia cinema.
A stack of books I saw on that.
And they've gone back to first sources too, like Romance of the Three Kingdoms and Journey to the West and Outlaws of the Marsh and books like that. They've really spent a lot of time making sure they've tried to understand where it's all started. But then they've created a brand new, beautiful world. It's like a fantasy world that's they got floating cities in the sky and magic and giant demons and transformation creatures and things like that too. So
that's awesome.
It's kind of a great fusion between martial arts movies and a lot of stuff the guys here have come up with too.
Right on. Now, while Greg goes ahead and steers us in our next direction, if you guys don't mind taking a brief break. Earlier this afternoon, we had a chance to run around the Bioware offices with our cameras, and got a chance, thanks to Michael Laidlaw. Basically, he gave us a tour of the facilities, and we got a couple pieces to show you. So if we get that queued up and roll that right about now, we'll take a look. I'm here with my man, Michael Laidlaw. How you doing, Michael?
Great.
It's good to see you. You actually go by Mike, though, right?
Yeah, I do.
All right, fantastic. Yep. Mike is a designer here at Bioware. He is working on Jade Empire, and actually you are one of the writers on Jade Empire, right?
That's right. I'm one of the lead writers, so it means working on large parts of the story, that kind of thing. The design team right now is running about 14 people, mixed between technical designers and, of course, the writers. We have, I think, 5 or 6 different writers who've worked on the project in its entirety. It's great.
That's awesome. Yeah. Now, actually, you're going to play a little tour guide for us today, right?
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm going to walk you through the offices.
Here we are outside, and we're going to take a look at the inside of Bioware. We're going to start with the lobby and check out some of the awards and games you guys got in here.
Awesome.
Let's go ahead and take a look.
All right.
Now, as soon as we come in, we got the cool, nice Old Republic poster. Yep. We got our cool awards up here on the wall in these game cases.
And one of the things at Bioware is we always try to develop our games within, I think Ray puts it best, within a context of humility. But we do like to show off a little bit. So, in the lobby where someone new is coming in, it's nice to show off some of the stuff we've done. So,
what's some of the stuff we're looking at here?
Well, you can actually see the multi-language versions of Knights of the Old Republic. That was really nice. We did that in, a whole slew of languages. So,
that is awesome. That's in Spanish?
Yeah. We're doing full language for Jade as well, so we'll probably see something very similar like that when Jade ships.
I got to try to hear you pronounce that.
Caballeros de Antigua República.
Dude, that's awesome. You guys should have just called that everywhere.
I think so. I think so, exactly. It drives the point home.
Right on.
Yeah.
Now, you guys obviously critically acclaimed for many years.
Yeah.
This is some of the awards. What do you guys got some awards down here?
Well, we received Game Developers Choice for community contribution, which is sort of adding to the overall community for game developers as well. Some of the stuff like Knights of the Old Republic garnered quite a few awards. You have Neverwinter Nights from the British Academy of Film and Television, so you have their Game of the Year for PC. And a lot of things as well. The Fast 50. Bioware's also been nominated a lot for the one of the best 100 places in Canada to work. I think we were about 45 this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So
awesome.
I know we were number 6 for the young bucks category. So young guys, they want to work here. And actually, I'll show you some of the reasons why. We got some really neat sort of rec facilities.
Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and take a look.
All right, let's do it.
So where are we at now, Mike?
Actually, we're in one of our rec facilities. So this is basically the break room. This is where everyone sort of comes to chill out and relax. It's a great spot as well for just sort of the ambiance that we try to maintain at Bioware. Like everyone tries to be pretty relaxed and easygoing, and have a lot of fun while we're working here. Long hours, you got to blow off steam. So we've got some like you can actually see the old games people have played, and we have the covers. Some beauties there like the original Civ and Acronox and. Even the original AD&D just post gold box.
You got the Oni,
yeah,
you got all kinds of good stuff.
We get, and everyone's got a very diverse taste, So some people love action games, so those guys are just digging Jade Empire, right? But the guys who just like the point and click, and they want to, more Baldur's Gate style. So that's where we're really trying to, appeal to everyone, and we've got enough members of the team who can say, no, that's not right for an action game, that we can just, hammer it home. And we don't have a lot of ego, so, if someone tells you, that idea, that's dumb. Well, we go, okay, yeah, you're right, fair enough.
That's awesome. Now, you're talking about the people that work here, incredible teams. These are some of the people right here, right?
Yeah, exactly. This is our 2002 staff photo. It was taken in one of the little local theaters we used to rent for our company meetings. We have meetings where the entire company attends and gets everyone in there. And once a year, we try to get some of the people in. So you can see guys who have been here for, pretty much the history of the company. They're still in here, and, a lot of new bucks. The company's really, really, really grown. As you can see here in 2003, you can actually see quite a few new faces in there. I actually first appear in this one, so
where you at?
With a lot. Where am I? I'm somewhere here in the middle. There I am, me.
All right, huh?
Yeah.
Now, you guys obviously with the picture there. You guys come a long
somewhere,
ways, yeah. Now one of the things during the break, you were dying to show us the next part. That you got the game tune. We can see its pause right there.
Yeah, we set up something cool for you.
Yeah.
Let's take a look.
There we go. So this is just a cool, that's just a little rotating screenshot anyone can do. But what I really want to show you is the Red Minister, who's real. See, I have 4 guys against me. It looks pretty tough. I'm going to have a tough time here. I got something in my back pocket. And he's nasty.
Allows you to drain health from your opponents.
Oh wow!
So this is one of the transformations you get a little bit later in the game, but it's very powerful, very cool as well.
And the one that we actually got to see for a bit was the one where you're stealing She, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is the same thing. This guy steals health.
It's a variant of that, actually. Steals health instead.
Is that those cool lines that go?
Oh yeah, he only gets one line.
I gotcha.
There he goes.
You gotta show stealing Chi a little bit later.
I'll get to that one.
It's
Yeah.
1,000 cuts now. This is another martial style. It's very fast paced. You can do a lot of pepper on the enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real fast. So some pretty neat. The fighting styles, like Ray mentioned, there's so many of them. And the motion capture is excellent. It's a real difference for anyone who's played a lot of action games. Each one has a different feel. Like certain have different distances or different speeds. Pretty amazing stuff. We'll watch. Got another cool movie here. I'm gonna be fighting some new opponents.
This is in-game or is this pre-rendered?
This one is pre-rendered.
But it's pre-rendered using in-game assets. We have a special technique that we use.
Is there a reason for it to be pre-rendered? Just because you guys have a lot of stuff moving around?
Well, allows the animators to be really cinematic in how they approach the story and that. So
A little more flexibility for those guys. So these guys are.
these guys are quite powerful. They've got ice shard style.
They look like...
You can watch this. They're going
You
by
slow
there.
down time with focus mode there. And it's using up that yellow bar, the focus bar.
That effect is so cool. The black and white is like a super...
Let's get the... We'll take care of this guy.
So that's 1,000 cuts.
1,000 cuts is pretty...
Kind of like maybe loosely based on Jeet Kune Do or something?
Something like that.
Yeah.
They're all fictional, right? I mean, that's one of the important things is that they're all fictional styles. They're not based on anything real, but some of the moves will be very similar to styles people have seen before. So we got a cool sequence here where this gentleman says, this pretty evil-looking fellow is talking to you, and you're in big trouble.
This village will be torn asunder. Whatever you are hiding, I will have it.
This is your master, Master Lee, who's coming to give you a hand.
So to speak.
I've seen enough of your skills. You will die now, so I am not troubled later.
Does this, not to give anything away, does this gentleman prove to be just a formidable foe for right now, or does he turn out to be somebody that you deal with later on as well?
This fellow here?
He's your master.
No, I meant the guy with the crazy...
Oh, yeah.
Well, you'll see what happens to him shortly.
Oh yeah. And Master Lee is your master. He's the one who's trained you, so...
Yeah.
He's coming up.
He's the headmaster of the school, basically. He's taught you what you know so far. So he's one of the good guys. The other guy's not one of the good guys.
I kind of got that by his complexion.
So he won't be around much longer.
I guess you don't fool with the master.
Yeah, not this. See, he's
No,
got to
master
brush
will.
off. He's got a little bit of a...
It would seem that my past is catching up to me.
So that's Master Lee. He's pretty. He's a cool guy. He's the one that trained you, and he's an important part of the game. You'll see when you play.
Right on. That's awesome. We got a mountain of questions here. Do you mind if we tear into some of them?
Let's rip them.
All right, let's see here. We got Rob from Boulder, Colorado. What percentage of development has gone into the technical creation of the engine? What sorts of technical achievements have the team been able to create using the Xbox hardware?
Well, there's a lot of advances we've done. We've really created a next-generation engine from scratch with Jade Empire, and there's a lot of optimizations. We've really optimized this game to be Xbox optimized, and it's fantastic that in terms of the frame rate and just in terms of all the effects we put in. A lot of advanced rendering passes and things like rim lighting really situate the characters in the scene. Things like physics-based cloth, full motion capture for all the moves in the game. Advanced facial animations and expressions, so that we really create credible virtual actors in the conversations. Just you go across the board, the graphics are amazing, the virtual actors are amazing, the way the dialogue and design flows is really quite amazing.
You get like 120, right? 120 voice actors, something like that?
I don't know, there's dozens and dozens.
So the credits for the game are actually, it's a novel, because not only is it, the Bioware is about 105 people working on it right now, or give or take, probably even some more than that at this point.
Wow.
Microsoft's got a huge staff, maybe 50 or more. We got, probably well over 100 voice actors. We've got all kinds of support staff. We have testing teams all over the world for the localized versions. It's a huge production, and it's pretty exciting for us because we're at a stage now where we're almost done, and we get to play it. Ray and I both finished it a couple times. We're playing it again, and we're playing the.
It's even better the next time.
Yeah. It's because you can hone your techniques, and there's really different paths in the game. The open palm versus a closed fist are totally different experiences. And what we did, I think, really well in the game is also provide, when you actually make one of those choices, the whole world changes. A lot of things happen in the world that are very different. It's not just like in that one little instance, but the story changes, what's going on changes, but people say is after that point are different. It's really, really cool.
One of the questions I know we got from a ton of people, so I apologize for not reading your names for those of you that asked, but I did see a ton of questions asking about there's a special edition of Jade Empire, right? Mm-hmm. Can you guys explain a little bit how that works and what's that all about?
Yeah, it's a limited edition basically for folks who pre-ordered, and it's something we've been planning for a long time with the publisher Microsoft, and it's basically there to offer something really special for the fans who pre-ordered the game. So we've got an extra characters, extra fighting style, special box as well. It's got a lot of cool features in it. It's definitely worth it.
Is it going to be out at the same time as the regular version of the game?
We're still working on that actually with Microsoft, but it's definitely available for pre-orders.
Right on. And I think today, for those of you hanging around to the end of the show, it's going to be we're going to be giving away 5 vouchers for the special edition.
That's pretty cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, totally. So
can we get in on that too?
I don't think BioWare employees are eligible, but
it has a great hologram on the box.
Yeah.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah,
and
cool.
you get real cool staff in there too, which it's funny because during development sometimes the version's in there, sometimes it's not. Last playthrough I couldn't get the staff because we didn't have that. Didn't have the limited. I wasn't playing the limited edition version. I was like, I really wanted that staff.
That's awesome. The one of the other questions I saw, I think again, a lot of people have been asking about this. Xbox Live, obviously, you guys have the functionality of giving people downloadable content at a later date. Is there anything you guys are doing with Xbox Live at all, or is it just single player offline?
Really, we're really focusing on the single player experience with Jade Empire. That's what we really want to do is deliver the ultimate single player experience. So that's really our focus with the game at this point.
Right on. And I have a few other questions here. One of the ones that keeps on showing up, as Ricardo also mentioned, is a lot of people want to know. A lot of people want to know: is it going to be coming out to the PC?
That's something we're working on. We're thinking about that idea. It's something we're talking about with our publisher Microsoft, and I think out of courtesy to them, we don't want to really reveal any details until we actually have a more firm plan on that front. But you look at our past history, we've definitely supported the PC market, and I think we're going to continue that in the future. But for right now, Xbox exclusive for Jade Empire.
Right on. Peter from Belgium wants to know: will we see humorous sidekicks in Jade Empire like Deacon and Neverwinter Nights or HK and Knights of the Old Republic?
Yeah, without a doubt. There's actually a few pretty hilarious characters. In fact, there's actually all kinds of characters as your sidekicks. You can get, I think it's 12. It's 11 or 12. I mean, it sort of depends on how you classify them.
Yeah, three of them are kind of special ones.
Yeah, they're sort of special, and they're sort of certain instance ones. But there's a couple pretty hilarious characters, a couple real serious characters, a couple real interesting characters. Really, and you know, every time we make one of our games, people are always really excited to see, you know, who's going to be the character they like the most. And there's probably 3 really good contenders. I know that I liked a lot when I played.
Depends on your play style.
Yeah,
Like if you like the humorous ones, you like the ones that are more serious. You know, there's a variety of different characters. And the same writers who worked on games like Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter Nights and Knights of the Old Republic in the past are all working on Jade Empire as well. So they're just doing a fantastic job.
The followers are kind of cool too, because they actually don't. They can either fight alongside you, right in there with their weapons or whatever they use to fight, or some of them actually stay back and can like heal you, or you know, one of the characters gives you like bottles of alcohol, so you can actually use Drunken Master. Whenever you get one of these alcohol bottles, you go into Drunken Master style. So it's actually kind of cool. The followers, you can actually use them as a tactical thing in the game. So it really changes.
You also have attack modes and support modes.
Yeah,
So if you want to just launch them into battle, you can use them that way
Yeah.
too. That's Greg was describing more of the support mode styles for them, but either way, they're really cool.
That's awesome. We got Redmond in California. He wants to know, will Jade Empire come? Oh, no, that's not. Another question about PC.
You asked that one
You got that one.
Yeah, I heard that one already.
Oh, yeah, this is a good question. Colin from Scotland wants to know, is there any famous voice actors in Jade Empire?
Yes, there are.
Really?
And we haven't announced them yet, actually, but there's some really cool ones. So
Actually, we're getting someone off camera.
Someone has given us the
Someone's
thumbs up,
we've got a
so-
thumbs up.
yeah, so
On the
actually,
spot.
John Cleese is one of the voice actors.
Oh, wow.
in the
Yeah,
game,
he plays a very entertaining
so
character.
he's a fantastic voice actor. He did an amazing job.
That's awesome.
And there's another set of fairly memorable. I mean,
There's
people,
actually a whole variety
yeah,
of others
there's
we haven't announced yet, too,
yeah.
so we'll probably be staging that out over time. But,
Mr. Cleese
he's an
is the best
example of one
known.
of the humorous characters. And
Yeah.
he's
He's a
the
good
scene
sequence.
he's in is just hilarious, so it's definitely worth it. It's actually an optional subquest, too, so sometimes
side
may not get
thing.
there for a while, but it's worth taking the time to find it.
Did you guys get to go to the voice recording session?
Actually, the audio producer for Bioware went down.
So sort of the writer that wrote it.
Yeah.
Both. And they of course thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
He was great to work with. I mean, they said he was just unbelievably professional and also just nailed it. You know, like just here's very similar experience with you probably recall Knights of the Old Republic had Ed Asner. And he was apparently even just a walk-on. He just kind of showed up because he happened to be in the studio, just nailed the part.
Wow.
Apparently he wanted to come on because his granddaughter was a big fan of video games, and so he just walked on and said, "Oh, let's do a video game for you," and kind of just nailed the lines one by one.
And John Cleese was similar in
those guys
that.
are pros.
Yeah, he just had here's the lines, boom, he was done. It was amazing.
Yeah.
He said it was really, really good.
That's-
and turned out awesome, really good.
That's
really funny.
Yeah, it's really good.
You guys, by any chance, give us a little taste of that now, can you?
I don't think we can get
save
there quickly
questions?
here, but no.
All right.
But we can show you. It would take a while to get there.
Yeah, it's tough to get there.
All right.
It's worth it. It's worth it though.
You gotta buy the game.
Well, with some of the stuff that we shot earlier today that we're going to post on the site later, maybe we can get you guys to send us some footage later on or something.
So maybe whoever is that's waving at us off camera can help
You
you
can
guys
probably
out.
arrange it, I think so.
Right on.
Yeah.
This one comes from Tim in Illinois. He wants to know where you can get one of those cool Jade Empire T-shirts that you guys are wearing.
Oh, these are just team shirts, actually.
Oh, really?
But one of the things we recently opened at Bioware's website is the store. Actually, online store is at store.bioware.com. So we are planning to launch some really cool merchandise post-release for Jade Empire, pre-release as well. So you can check out the website, www.bioware.com or store.bioware.com, and you'll actually be able to see some really cool stuff there.
Yeah, around the time we launch the game, that we should have stuff up like the Bioware underoos and things like that. Yeah.
Toques. We got toques in Canada, right? So
Yeah,
you
hats.
might expect to see some toques.
Yeah.
It's like a woolen hat, in case you don't know.
This is one of the questions you guys heard during the last break. This one comes from Nick in Minnesota. He wants to know how many kinds of weapons are there, bows, and how many kinds are there?
Jeez, we were trying to count that when you were beforehand. It's like there's a lot. So.
Well, and each a lot of the weapons have multiple
Longsword,
sets as
double
well.
saber, twin axes, staff, spade staff. There's quite a few. Probably missed a few.
It's like 6 or so. I mean, it depends
they're
also.
upgradable too. Yeah. So when you add them all up, there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
There's a ton of them.
This is a question that I guess we might as well get to sooner than later. Actually, before we get to this question, if we have the ability, Christopher from San Antonio, he wants to know. Actually, he actually had asked. This is the other page. Sorry. But Stephen Tran from Belmont, Texas wants to know, will Jade Empire feature any unique replayability such as unlockable characters and some of the stuff you guys touched on earlier, but they're going to be...
There's a lot of replayable features in the game. You mentioned this earlier, that depending on which followers you take in your party, from the different variety of followers, you're going to have different subquests available. You're also going to have a ton of replayability from whether you choose the way of the closed fist, which is kind of the evil path or the more selfish path, the strong path, or the way of the open palm, which is kind of more the giving path or the good path. And just also which styles you choose to level up. The combat's going to play very differently depending on what you do, and also the range of subquests. There's a ton of different subquests. The designers have really worked hard to make some variety, and you may not see all the subquests first pass through, and some of them are actually only accessible if you're really closed fist or really open palm too. So
yeah, it's cool.
Same with some of the fighting styles.
Yeah, you will if there's no way you're going to be able to see everything in a single pass of the game because it's
you close, but
you got to make choices, and you're just not going to see a lot of the stuff. You got to play it once, twice, 5 times maybe.
Yeah,
a lot.
Now,
12 times,
at least twice.
Yeah.
Now a lot of the questions I'm starting to see are asking stuff about a few other items, but before we get to that. If we go ahead and take another look at our tour that we did earlier, this last bit we're going to take a look at actually goes and checks out some of the areas that are dedicated to the development of Jade Empire. So if we can get that going, let's take a look at that right now. All right, Michael, where do we find ourselves now?
Well, we're actually in the Jade Empire design area. So this is where all the designers, we've got a few of the animators floating around here. It's basically this big curve of the building is all the Jade Empire team. Things are ramping down a little bit right now, so we're not at peak capacity, but we still got a lot of people really playing it and hammering on it, making sure that it's the best we can make it. So you see a lot of people now sort of with that air of relief about them because we've got to a point where it's actually stupendously fun. And this hallway normally would have tons of debates about, well, I think Leaping Tiger is a lot better than the staff, that kind of thing. So we're really happy to see that.
I got you. So in the immediate area we have here these gentlemen.
These are actually 2 of our cinematic designers. So these are the guys responsible for a lot of the in-game sort of cutscenes. You'll see they're done all in engine, completely using like existing animation stuff. These guys do some really, really cool work with what they have, and they all work on kind of a system where they're testing each other's stuff and doing critiques and that kind of thing. So they're really hammering on their stuff to make it as good as possible.
How's it going, Mark? How's it going? I'm Ryan. Nice to meet you.
It's Mark Howe, one of our great animators here. He's been working on the styles since pretty much Jade Empire came into being. So basically everything's coming from motion capture data. So these are real martial artists we brought in for 3 really grueling days for them to show off some of their stuff. So and then we've been tweaking it, putting it in game, breaking it into combo moves, that kind of thing. So we draw right from the actual martial artist and put it right in the game as best we can.
Thank you. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, no, I was just going to say we lovingly caress the animation, the motion capture until we get exactly what we want here. Because the motion capture usually it comes in and it's really good, but to make it work for the game, we really have to tweak it up a lot and do a lot of work with it. But
well, thank you so much. This is our sound area.
Yeah, this is one of our sound designers, Mike Kent. Hey,
what's up, Mike?
He's a brilliant young prodigy. And Mike's part of the team that actually does a lot of the in-house sound. So these guys do custom scoring for our cinematics, along with our composer Jack Wall, who's done some fantastic work. He did Mist Exile, that kind of thing. But when we need sound effects as well, these are the guys we turn to. Now we showed GameSpot a couple of recording sessions in here. Where we did some of the local voice acting, that kind of thing, because we did do some. We also used a local studio to do the majority of it. But what we're doing in here as well is a lot of pickup stuff with trying to get sound effects and that kind of thing. So if these guys need something like, we need a porcelain jar or something like that to break, they can get it.
That's cool.
So they're able to do that, and the sound team's like, these guys are awesome at just grabbing something and going, okay, how do we make it awesome? So you end up with like impact sounds and slaps and all kinds of stuff. Whatever you need, they can pull it together.
I can't help but notice there's a big box of Frosted Flakes.
Yeah, and honestly, I asked, and these are one of the mysteries that the audio guys will never share.
Right.
Where does that appear in game? We will not say, begone, awesome. Designer. So that's life.
Fantastic. That's like, you guys don't know the story behind the Frosted Flakes?
Well, we speculated they were using some sound effect, but we're not totally
kind of a real good crunching kind of punch of some sort.
Yeah, you guys had that heavy bag in there too, so it sounded like.
Yeah, that was actually used for the the punches and that. So
that's cool.
It's used all the time.
Well, yeah, we do a lot of stuff up there.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
Now I know you.
These guys are awesome. They do great work.
They do some good stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now I know during the time we had at the break, you'd set up a couple other spots you wanted to show off.
Yeah,
right?
this is the arena. This is called the Imperial Arena, and it's the greatest fighting venue in the Empire. And so there's some. What we'll be showing some real early stuff. This is. I'll just run around here. These are all the different combatants in the arena, and they're various champions.
Completely optional too. It's just there.
Yeah,
it's like a mini game basically. You can do a serial battle against progressively more difficult opponents in the middle of the Imperial City. So it's really cool. You get extra prizes, get money, get fame, get fortune. And,
I want to hear
experience,
that you're ready for your next fight.
This is a kind of a crazy guy named Quee the Promoter. I'm trying to get my mustache like his, but I'm having some troubles.
That's all.
For your first match, we'll start you off against a mighty
He's a hilarious character. We can't really quite get the funniest part, but when you first meet him, he's a real riot.
He likes using
Even our great champions start out against
words
the
that are
ogre.
beyond his grasp.
Yeah,
Raging ox,
not very well.
who danced around the be-seen drunken leader.
Oh, he's a real...
There's actually a lot of great characters in this area, too. We'll show a few of the other
Yeah.
ones, too. Some really funny characters.
That's the spirit. Are you ready to get started? Excellent.
This is actually the first round of the qualifying round, so it's first match of the qualifying round. So it's fairly straightforward, but it gets progressively more difficult from there as you head into the bronze level and the silver level and the gold level beyond.
And there's actually a whole subplot within the arena too. It's cool because what happens? Some of your followers have certain plots that trigger in certain areas, and this is one of them. It's pretty neat when you go through.
Depending who you bring with you, you're going to see different things depending on who's with you in your travels.
So I've got a new style here, Leaping Tiger.
Fighting an ogre, so pretty tough opponent for the first one, but
He's super cool.
yeah. You should try Toad Demon's.
Yeah, I'll play with the style a bit.
So that's a staff style, another martial style, or weapon style, sorry.
So I got a question, man. Since this is the first, real-time action game you guys have done in a while, like it's been a while, right?
Yeah, we've
MDK2?
done Shattered Steel before and MDK2. Yeah.
Would you guys attempt it at all to try to hide some kind of like weird little two-player mode in there where you can fight each other? Or anything?
That's a great idea, but nothing secret to reveal on that front yet.
So I've transformed into a toad.
Great
this
idea
time.
for future products, though, isn't it?
Block in there.
This is Toad Demon style. It's a transformation. So if you kill a Toad Demon, you can sometimes capture its spirit and then get one of these transformations that is really powerful. It uses up chi, the blue bar, at a really fast rate. So
that's awesome.
So that was the winner of the first round.
It seemed kind of unfair though with the toad thing.
You actually do have it at that point in the game, but I think my character may be fairly souped up. It actually gets really challenging. I mean, there's guys in the office that have trouble finishing it on the higher levels and stuff.
depending what tactics you use,
Yeah.
if you choose the right strategy, the right styles, actually some battles are pretty easy. That could be quite hard if you don't have those styles. So, and you can come back whenever you want. You want to finish it off, you can come back and finish off later levels. You don't have to do it all in one pass or anything like that either. So
that's cool.
Yeah,
so I got another fight. This one's a pretty cool one. You'll see there's 4 guys I'm fighting this time. And one of them's got monkey style, which is a real neat style in the game. You can only see it in a couple places. And it's a real cool one, as well as a whole variety. One's got one called Storm Dragon you're fighting. So some really pretty good variety of guys you're fighting here. So I'll, again, as Ray's mentioning tactics, for example, staff's a great thing to use here because I can clear them all out, right? So, bounce them away from me, pick a guy, and see, I just got shocked, so I've kind of got like electrical charge on me here.
Storm Dragon.
I'm having some troubles, so clear them out.
Staff does it.
Yeah.
It's a good clear. And it's actually a little bit slower, but has good reach as well.
Yeah. Great reach, yeah.
So it's definitely a tactical advantage.
But I got another really awesome style called Tempest. This is
very cool.
So now I've just set them all up. Well, let's speed up a couple guys here.
Oh.
This is an example of a style that you get if you follow the way of the closed fist.
Yeah, very powerful style.
And there's a counterpart as well, Stone Immortal, if you follow the way of the open palm. So again, it gives you an idea of the replayability that, in order to see both those really cool styles, you're going to have to check out a couple different alignment options as you play through it.
He seems like he's all kinds of man. Letting him have it.
Yeah.
Now you lay the beat down.
That's awesome.
So I'll go one-on-one with the monkey here. So we can watch him for a little bit. See how he does.
He's quite powerful.
Yeah, you got to be careful. You never get close to him. See, he's nailing me. Oh, it's all my fault. It's probably a good guy to use just kind of poke him away with your staff. There you go.
He's almost finished by the time you do that.
So there we go.
Tempest is pretty powerful.
Pretty cool style. It's
very cool.
Lot of tactical stuff in the game.
That's awesome. That's totally awesome. I gotta get some of these questions before we run out of time. Of course, a lot of the questions people have been asking, we're hoping to take a look at today. But what can you tell us about Dragon Age? A lot of people, for folks that don't know at home, that's your guys' PC, your next big PC game, right?
Yeah. Well, we have a number of new intellectual properties in development. Jade Empire is the first. Dragon Age is the second. We have a third one as well. We haven't announced yet. But
You want to do it right now? It's cool.
No,
Well,
we'll just talk about
I think that
Dragon
guy
Age
off
right
camera is
now.
not going to let us. You know,
Are you sure?
you can see he's kind of shaking his finger at us.
The Dragon Age is it's a fantastic game. We have a great team working on that as well. It's the spiritual successor to games like Baldur's Gate 2, Neverwinter Nights, and a lot of the same folks that worked on those games in the past are working on it as well. So really trying to create the ultimate fantasy RPG experience for PC, and it's turning out really well. We haven't revealed too much about it other than that so far, but what we can say is that we're really happy with the work they've done. The team is a fantastic team. Same as the Jade Empire team and all our other teams here at Bioware. Great people.
How far along you guys will we be able to see more of it at E3?
Well, we can't really say, you know. We've been working on it for a while. Like, I mean, one of the things is that we've most of our games there's a long pre-production phase where we plan out the world. Like Jade Empire, as an example, went through probably almost a year of planning and sort of building the world and creating you have to create a whole mythology. You have to create the environments and Dragon Age has gone through the same thing. And we're well into a prototyping phase where we're creating content, sort of figuring out exactly how we're going to build stuff. So it's come along really well. We're really happy with it.
Right on.
But it's going to be, we're taking our time. We want to do it right.
Each game better than the last. That's our motto.
Yep.
That's a good motto.
Yeah.
I like that.
Just keep trying to make each game better than the last.
EJ from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, he wanted to know, is there going to be a world map, how to navigate like in a Final Fantasy game or something like that? How does that work?
There is, actually, and there's also a mini game that's very cool, Dragonfly Airship mini game that you can use to fly around the world. So that's kind of an optional part, but it's really fun in its own right. And then you navigate across the world using the world map. And there's also detailed maps for each area that show you where all the points of interest are and all the stores and all the quest givers and so on. So it's really easy to find what you have to do next. There's a great journal page as well. Shows you where all the quests are and what stage they're at, and whether they're completed, whether they're primary quests or critical path, or whether they're sub-quests or not. Kind of gives you the status of the importance of them, too.
Right on. Let's see here. We've got... this goes into the whole... question of what you guys will be doing in the future. This isn't necessarily what you guys are working on, but do you guys, with Jade Empire being more of the action and with the gameplay, are you guys looking in the future to see some more action games, or are you guys gonna kind of mix it up, keep it going?
Yeah, I think, really, one of Bioware's goals is really to deliver the best story-based games in the world. We really want to create games with a great story, and our belief is that you can combine it with anything. Story, you're seeing a lot more games nowadays in general using great stories to make them really compelling, and I think what we focused on in Jade Empire is combining an action genre, with our story in a role-playing setting, and we've got some other ideas on some other types of games that'll merge well with the kind of stories we create. So I think in the future, it'll be a big range of games. Like we're really, as a company, have a goal of making a broad range of products, a lot of different stuff.
This is actually a good question I got here from Sahid. He wants to know. I'm sorry, actually, it's Morris from Orlando, Florida. He wants to know, is Jade Empire going to be a lot more free roaming? A lot of the stuff that we saw today, it seems like you have a path in front of you, then it kind of pushes you kind of linearly. How open is that world? Is it pretty much go anywhere, do anything you want? How much direction you give the player?
It depends on whether it's the main quests or it's where the subquests. And there's actually quite a bit of non-linear aspects of the game too. You can go back and forth. You can finish things at different times. Some of the critical path elements are you have to do certain things in certain order, but other elements of the game are very very non-linear and very free form as well. You get to explore pretty large areas and roam around and explore. We think that's an important aspect of role playing. It's just being able to explore a lush, beautiful world.
Before we get too much further into being almost done here, I think we should go ahead and see about giving away these 5 copies that we're going to have.
Yeah.
Now, of course, these 5 copies, we're not going to hand them to you today. You have to wait until the game's release date, which is April 14th. Is that right?
Yep.
April 14th is the release date. And so for the 5 lucky people that answer this following question correctly, you will be sent 5.
Skill testing question, right?
Yeah, totally. You'll be sent a copy of Jade Empire, the special edition, actually. So we talked a little bit about the question during the last break. Do you guys want to go ahead and tell the folks at home what the question is and see who the first 5 people are?
Sure. What you're going to have to do is send the folks at GameSpot an email with both my and Ray's last name spelled correctly. And so we're not going to tell you.
No phonetic spellings allowed.
You got to have the right spelling. So however you're going to send them the info, you got to send them quick. You can probably tell them where exactly to send it.
Oh, yeah, totally. For all GameSpot Complete members, go ahead and look right here on the page where you're watching this webcast. and you'll see the little box that has the question entry screen and all the information. So go ahead and send in the answer to that question as well as your full and complete mailing address, and we'll be sure that on April 14th we'll get you guys out a copy of the special edition of Jade Empire.
So to make it a little easier, I think last names are Musica and Zaschuk.
There you go.
That should help you out a lot.
That should help you out quite a bit, actually. But I think we're almost about time. How are we doing on time, you guys? Doing pretty good? Is there anything else you guys want to say to the folks at home that are watching right now before we take off?
Just really, I guess, thanks to our great team. We're showing the game, and it's an honor for us to represent the team working on Jade Empire really hard. And they're great people. They're smart, creative, passionate, hardworking, and it's an honor to work with them every day.
Fantastic. Well, I can't thank you guys enough once again for letting us come down here and do this.
Oh, thank you for coming up. You guys are perseverance. It's good.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
You made it through the ice storm, so that's you're good in our book.
Now the weather's getting good and you can make it. So.
And the cool thing is, earlier today before we came on live, we actually got a chance to go around the office. We've got a bunch more stuff that we actually filmed in the can, and we'll be putting it up in the coming weeks. So be sure to stick to the site, keep checking for more information about Jade Empire. For Ray, Greg, everybody here at Bioware, the hospitality's been great. Thank you so much for having us. For Homer and Tyler, who set up the whole little set we got going on here, and Ricardo back there getting us questions and setting this whole thing up, thank you guys so much. For all of you folks watching at home, thanks again. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll be sure, I think we'll all be looking forward to seeing more on Jade Empire. So
thanks a lot.
Thanks again. And so from here, up in Canada, thanks again for watching this week. We'll see you next week. Don't forget, February 26th, if you haven't already, we'll be in Alameda hanging out at the Scion event. So if you can check out www.scion.com and look for the events tag and see what's going to be happening on the 26th, and it'll have where we're going to be. Aside from that, you can look for more cool content on the site right after the show. There'll be all kinds of fun stuff. But enough from me and us here in Bioware. Thanks again for everybody, and we'll see you guys next week here on Spot.